What a play after play after play.
And he's got a lot of room to run, and she is taking over.
Rhodes, that's just the greatest conference in the country is showing out tonight, gentlemen. I cannot believe it. That is the greatest high school football game.
Thank you so much for being with us. Welcome to Tuesday night, and this is what we do on Tuesdays. We talk about the greatest high school conference in the land. It's the WCAC Spectacular on behalf of First Amendment Sports. I'm Ken Marangolo. He's Tim Strachan.
Man, this Tuesday just keeps getting better for me. I had a little crab feast already today, and a beautiful day. It was awesome. Some friends over. I'll get to top it off with this.
It's
a good Tuesday, man.
You're kind of excited. I like
that.
What I'm seeing over here. He's Kevin Ricca.
Sounds like a great Tuesday. To me, I only live about a half a mile away. I wonder where that crab invite was. But anyways, we do have a multiple national coach of the year. Just another Tuesday for us.
Another Tuesday night on the WCAC Spectacular. We have an awesome guest for you tonight, as we do every week, and we will get right to it. But first, let's get things started the way we like to on Tuesday nights with a segment we call Around the League. Let's head on down to Harewood via Myrtle Beach. That's dual sport athlete Nicholas Harbor. He's the nation's #1 ranked sophomore in the 100 200-meter sprint. He is fast. He's number 9 in the nation.
This is the ridiculous part coming up.
He doesn't turn 16 until August, by the way. By the way, 6'4", 220. Also plays football, defensive tackle and wide receiver. You may know some of the schools recruiting him. Clemson, Oklahoma,
Size.
LSU. I'll tell you what the best thing about it is, though. The kid's got a 4.0 GPA. Carol, you are doing amazing things down there on Harewood. Nick, good luck to you. We can't wait to cover you for the rest of your high school career and beyond.
And the smarts.
Smarts. Head on out to Arlington, Virginia, where O'Connell back on the diamond. Getting it done with a 7-1 win over Gonzaga Purple Eagles. Congratulations to the Knights. That is a good-looking
there's
day.
something about a nice-looking baseball field like that, man.
It just looks great. Head on up to Providence, Rhode Island, where our friend of the show and also just our general friend, Casey O'Neill, just turning out amazing student-athletes from Gonzaga's lacrosse program. How about Luke McCaleb continuing to rack up the numbers up at Brown, getting his 100th goal, 175 points, just absolutely crushing it. And you know what? He's not the only Luke that's just absolutely crushing. We got some good Lukes on their show tonight.
We're just happy this one got the chance to finally play this senior
Absolutely.
year. Get that game under the belt to get that 100th. Good luck. Congratulations. Great career.
Speaking of great careers, former Good Counsel star Lindsay Pulliam drafted into the WNBA by the Atlanta Dream. God, it's so great to see professional leagues understand where greatness is coming from. It's coming from the WCAC. I'd like to think we're going to talk about some more WCAC athletes getting drafted in the next week or so, but tonight belongs to Lindsay Pulliam. Congratulations.
I love good counsels, men and women, doing big things in the pro level, man.
What guy going to be taking his game to the next level? That's Elijah Hawkins. Awesome player for the DeMatha Stags. He'll pick your pocket. He is ruthless, and he's going to Howard, and he's keeping it in D.C. Awesome job.
Stag.
Congratulations.
Yep.
It's like we never really covered DeMatha, but it's good to give him a little love every once in a while. And how about some extra love for doing some amazing things on the hardwood this year? Elijah and his teammates. Number 4 in the nation, Coach Mike Jones, putting together an absolutely awesome roster. They played a bunch of top teams in the nation. We got a chance to see them early on at the St. James, going up against the best competition in the country. Number 4 in the top 25. Awesome job, Mike. Great job to all these kids.
Wait till you see what Elijah does for this program at Howard. Yeah. They're about to take it to a new level with him with the ball in hand.
And we get to see him right in our backyard. Down to South Bend, or over, I should say, in South Bend. Another WCAC athlete from Gonzaga Prentice Hub, filling up stat sheets in the ACC, getting it done in assists, playing 37 minutes a game, I guess, if that does anything for you. crushing it in three-point category as well. Notre Dame's got themselves a player, a leader, and a great kid.
Hey, do you know their coach went to the Matha too?
Did he really?
Yeah.
How about that? How about that?
I feel like T should just do his own show, a spin-off, if you will.
Around DeMatha, the around Hyattsville. The around Hyattsville is a different segment. Let's finish up in Chantilly, where the PVI girls hoops team got the highest national ranking in their history. A very, distinguished history. A lot of good teams, a lot of great players. Lady Panthers, top 5 in all the national media rankings. Well-deserved. Absolute testament to everything going on out there in Chantilly. So to all the kids, students, parents, coaches, everyone involved with that program, well done. It was a fun distraction for all of us who didn't have a whole lot else to pull for, and this became it for a lot of us watching these girls.
In the league, yes. Second time in a couple of years we've had a chance to root for that.
That's
pretty
right.
Cool, man.
Around the League is brought to you by Lido Pizza. Lido Pizza is square because they do not cut corners, and neither do we. On a Tuesday by Tuesday basis, we make sure and give you everything.
I don't cut corners when I eat it. That's for sure.
No, we know, T. We know about how you eat your Lido pizza. It's not. I mean, thankfully we don't have any clips of that. Although maybe we probably.
No more quadriplegic pizza eating jokes, please.
No,
I'm full of them.
We'll get that. Before we get to the guests tonight, we do have a clip we're going to roll, and this is just a fun clip we got of our guest who had an awesome opportunity in recent times, more normal times, to have a great moment with his team.
You guys want to hear this news? We got bad news.
What?
We got good news. We got bad news. We got good news. Bad news is we got to get the heck out of the gym.
Wait.
Good news is we got to go celebrate because we have a McDonald's.
Awesome moment, shared by all Ashley Wilson's teammates, shared by all the Paul VI program in the old gym. Let it be noted that was the old gym.
The pack, baby.
It was. That's right. It was. Listen, Coach Scott Allen, in addition to being an all-around good guy, and fun to have met on the sidelines before all the games that we've had a chance to cover, also is putting out the best girls basketball players around. They the college coaches nationally know exactly where to go. They go straight to Chantilly these days, and they find themselves girls that are ready to compete at the next level. I want to take this opportunity to welcome to the show Coach Scott Allen. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, guys. I'm really hungry now. You talked about Lido's Pizza. You talked about Crab Feast. And I guess it's Taco Tuesday, too, isn't it?
It is
fair.
Taco Tuesday.
Very fair. All 3 of the prime food groups right there.
This table was covered in tacos like 5 minutes ago.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, you look a little just this much more relaxed than maybe the last time we would have met up before a game, and I guess that has to have something to do with the fact that like so many coaches, not just in our league but around the country, you had a chance to get on the floor. You had a chance to get student athletes playing a sport. I know it wasn't easy, so congratulations just for that alone. But are you able to kind of relish in this aftermath of all that's happened?
It's just been an unbelievable journey, and all the credit goes to the administration at Paul VI, our athletic director, Billy Emerson, our principal, Jenny Caldwell, Bishop Burbridge, allowing us the opportunity to go to Geico, but most importantly, just the opportunity to have a season. We were allowed to do 1 open gym in October. We were allowed to do 2 open gyms a week in November, and then we could start practice without having any idea if we're ever going to have a season, if we're ever going to play a game. So then it came down to, okay, you're allowed to schedule games. You're only allowed to play 2 games a week. You're on a 6-week season, and you don't get to play for anything. You have no state tournament. You have no WCAC. So let's just hope you guys get to play 12 games. So we started scheduling games, and, surprisingly, we had a lot of people reach out that wanted to play, and we scheduled as many games as we could. And it was just, we came up with the slogan at the beginning of the year. We try to do this every year with our teams on what's going to define their legacy. So when I met with our 4 seniors, Isabella Perkins, Lee Volker, Annie Shanley, and Maddie Duran, I said, so what do you guys want your legacy to be? Because I think you have a legacy that's going to be unlike anybody else's, because this is an unprecedented times. So we came up with the word pride, and what pride meant was we want to take advantage of every single second that we had the opportunity to be on the floor together and to be a team together and to be involved in the game of basketball at Paul VI, because we just never knew what the next day was going to bring, what the next hour was going to bring, if we would ever get to play a game. And they really embraced that. I'm so thankful for our school allowing us the opportunity to be able to have a season, for the opponents that we were allowed to play, and most importantly, the parents, my coaching staff, and just an incredible group of players.
Well, it did culminate at Geico up in New York, where high school basketball champions are crowned. So congratulations on that. Like you said, you passed around a lot of props to some other folks, but to you, Coach, awesome job. I know how much work you put into just the job itself, and then to be able to have just that opportunity, much less to be able to be on that sideline on ESPN coaching in that game. That's awesome. I just kind of wanted to ask, how did you find out you were going to be able to get up there? How did that news come in? Because there was all this speculation about who was going to go and how they were even going to decide. And so we were all kind of holding our breath, knowing that we knew who we had in your program, but not sure how that was all going to be determined.
It was an interesting situation. I got a phone call. Well, actually, somebody had made mention to me that, hey, I think you guys have a really good chance to go to Geico this year. You're undefeated. You beat some really, really good teams. So I made a phone call to a friend of mine, and I just asked him, I said, hey, do you think we got a chance at this? And he says, I really think you do. And the next thing I know, I got an email from Emily that ran the event. She says, we would like to invite you to Geico. We want you're undefeated. Our goal is to try to get the top 4 undefeated teams in the country, because they've never had that in a national tournament at Geico. They wanted 4 undefeated teams coming in. So it was a process. It was about it almost feels like it was a month long, where we found out. I notified our school. We just decided our athletic director, Billy Emerson, was 100% on board. He had to present it to the administration. The administration was 100% on board. And then we had to bring it to the diocese to get their approval. And obviously, in these day and age, this time right now, it's very difficult to travel. And, not only are you going to travel, but you're going to fly to a place and you're going to play in a basketball game down in Florida. So we kind of made sure that we had to dot all the I's and cross all the T's and go through all the protocols. The group that ran Geico did an unbelievable job of presenting all the COVID protocols to our administration, who was, just blown away by the fact of everything that they had so detailed. I mean, because this is a national event. I mean, a worldwide event. It's on ESPN. So they did everything to the T. So then we had to present it to the diocese and the bishop. And, we kind of found out, I was actually flying home to Vermont to see my mom, and I got a phone call from the athletic director, and he basically told me it was a go. And so we scheduled a meeting with our players via Zoom and told them about it. They were ecstatic. We had an idea that there's a possibility of us going, but we weren't 100% in until we got that final approval, and it was just ecstatic. We started practice right away, and we kind of made the goal, like nobody was going to have more fun than us. Like we were we were just going to enjoy the opportunity that we had presented to us, that we were going to get a chance to play in a national tournament on TV and represent our school and our basketball program and everybody that was involved. So it was an incredible experience that you just want to learn how to slow life down that entire time just to soak it in, because once it's over, it's over, So we just really try to take advantage of every single second that we could together.
I love that. I love that perspective, Coach. I mean, Paul VI coming into national prominence right in front of all of our eyes, and you're talking about having more fun. I mean, we've got ESPN involved. There's bishops giving approval.
Literally,
we've got all kinds of pandemic nonsense happening. And I'm going to ask you about this, a little more madness. A multiple national coach of the year, this national prominence is nothing new to you. But you're going up on a weekly basis in conference against the likes of Frank Oliver, Jonathan Scribner, two other guys that have been national coach of the year, Dave Bell, who was right alongside John Scribner, and everyone else in your conference. Talk to me about that madness outside of a pandemic year and how it's driven in your program to get to the more fun approach.
Because this was a season that you were just so thankful you had the opportunity to play. I mean, you're looking at, there was, at the time that we were allowed to schedule games, there was one WCAC team that we could play, and it was St. Mary's Riken. They were the only ones.
Right.
So, hey, I mean, this is what was presented to us. We took advantage of it. I tell people all the time, and I have this conversation with people all the time, especially college coaches, and some of them get it and some of them don't. And the ones that get it, like on your preview, when you see this kid at Notre Dame from DeMatha and this kid going to Howard, and you see all these WCAC players that are playing at the high level, Division I level, and you're not going to recruit our league? Like, I don't understand. I tell people all the time, just come recruit our league. I don't care if you're the worst team in the league or the best team in the league. Come recruit our league. There's somebody that can play for you, and there's somebody that might make you a lot more money because you might get the next job because you're bringing a kid in that's a stud that's going to help you propel your career. But those guys are phenomenal. I compare I've been in the league 19 years, and my assistant and I talk about this all the time. All we wanted to do is just get to the middle of the pack of the league. And then we just wanted to get into American. And then we just wanted to get to the finals. And then, it kind of snowballed from there. But you're playing against, not only you're playing against the best teams in the country, you're playing against the best coaches in the country, and you're playing against the best schools in the country. So you've got to look at it as an inviting opportunity to just take advantage of it, because I think at the end of the day, no matter what you do, if you're a basketball coach, if you're a teacher, if you're an electrician, or whatever you are, you want to be going against the very best, because that's the test to see where you are.
I believe that. We all believe in that. We want to compete against the best. We're guys that wanted to guard the best guy in the other team. And when you talk about recruiting this league, I love that you said it. Of course, about on the boys' side over there at Paul VI, Jeremy Roach and Trevor Keele is going to be the starting backcourt at Duke next year. But what blew my mind, Kara Lawson, someone I grew up following that career at West Springfield, Northern Virginia, one of the greatest basketball players to ever come out of that region. Year one, she gets in there, and right away, I mean, she's got two girls from Nigeria, two from Australia, California, Florida. She certainly knew where to come back home to pick up Lee Volker, and I think that starts a huge pipeline on the women's side. Is that something that you agree with?
Well, Billy Gibson is one of my best friends. He's the head coach of West Springfield, and he's an absolute legend, not only in Virginia, but a legend in basketball, period. And I've known Kara for a long time, going to the Final Fours with Billy, and she actually, this is a true story with Kara. So the year I was so fortunate that I won the National Coach of the Year, named after Pat Summitt, because we had such great players and an unbelievable staff. I was just lucky enough to be a part of it and get the award for everybody. Kara Lawson sent me a handwritten note that I got in the mail at the school. And it just, how proud she was of seeing somebody from her Northern Virginia win meant to her, how much Pat Summitt meant to her and everything. But then at the bottom, she says, I just want to let you know that you'll always be the number 2 ranked coach in the state of Virginia after my head coach, Cody Gibson, which I can't argue with. But when Kara got the job there, I immediately reached out to her and I said, hey, I really think I have a player right now that's unsigned that could play for you. And she reached, I told her, I said, I just think it's a good fit. They followed up with me. And they researched as much as they had to do with Lee. And the next thing you know that, she was offered a scholarship to go play there, which is a great opportunity for her and to play not only an incredible, you're going to have 3 kids from Paul VI at the same school next year.
That's awesome.
That's unbelievable. You really think about that. But an unbelievable school, great opportunity for her. And we're, just thankful that, they believe in Lee and in what she can bring to the table for sure.
Well, don't think that the Dookie at the table over here on the left side wasn't aware of that and was going to bring it up. You talk about great players, Lee Volker being the most recent of them. I know we have a picture of all the recent players you have. Just taking a look at these girls that played for you, tell us, without naming names, but some of the best characteristics, both basketball and non-basketball related, that make them so great.
The far left corner right now, her name's Faith Alston. She was a senior last year for us. She played 4 years. She was just named the freshman of the year for App State athletics, not only just for basketball, but the entire athletic program. She was named the freshman of the year.
Wow.
That's incredible. You have Ashley Owusu at Maryland. You have Taylor Cotter, Division II. You have Mimi Collins. You have just all of these unbelievable, Jasmine Whitney that, won 123 games at Paul VI, 3 WCAC, 4 state titles. You have Michaela Vaughn that is at the Minnesota WNBA team training camp right now. You have, Megan Kennefick at Cleveland State, Lizzie Thibodeau, Sydney Avaletta, Raven James at Villanova, Kayla Henderson down at Shawan, and you have Kate Klemkowitz, who had an unbelievable year at Richmond this year. And so it's unbelievable when we put this, our guy Nick Holler put this together for us, and just to see these are the current players that are playing right now. You just feel fortunate, and they're all unbelievable people too.
What is one of the most driving factors to their success? Being a coach, you have certain players that kind of just stand out from the rest. What is one defining characteristic that maybe all those girls share that you just say there's no reason? I know why they made it where they are.
Pride. It goes back to, pride, values, and integrity at Paul VI. That's what it's all about. They believe in that. The school is founded on those, pride, values, and integrity. That's one of our main, slogans for our entire program. And I just think every one of those kids that you saw on that picture right there, not only are they great players on the floor, but they're unbelievable people off the floor that we spent a lot of time talking about how to represent your school and your family and your program and your team off the floor as well, and how to handle things. And it goes way back from that too. I can tell you players from 2002 all the way till now that's what they were defined by. They were great people. And when you're going to come to the WCAC, you're going to get unbelievable, well-prepared student athletes. And we take a lot of, once again, it goes back to that word pride of being able to, when I send a kid like Faith Alston to App State, and she's the freshman of the year, not only in in women's basketball, but the entire athletic program at App State, that just says a lot about her as a total person, not just as a basketball player.
Well, Coach, when you talk about pride, for us, a lot means family. We come from we take a lot of pride in our families. We got deep roots in the league, going generations back. But one of the awesome stories coming out of this most recent run for you, has to do with your family and a certain former truck driving father who refused to miss his son's game and ends up getting maybe even more camera time than you or anyone else as a result. That's an awesome story.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So, my dad's my hero, and he was a retired truck driver after so many, 50 some odd years. And he just called me and he says, I can't miss your game. He said, can I go? And I said, sure, you can go. He says, well, it's about, to the T, 1,517 miles, not 1,500 miles, not to the T. And I said, okay, Dad, I'll meet you down there. He's like, all right, I'm going to stop. We're from a town of very, we don't even have a stoplight in our town. Fairhaven, Vermont. I'm so proud to, be from there and the community. And Dad drove from there to my house in Centerville, Virginia. And then he drove to the Florida-Georgia line, and then he drove all the way down to Fort Myers, Florida. And when he got there, he wasn't very happy about the traffic in Florida. I will tell you that.
Nobody is.
When you're, but he turned 78 on Friday, April the 2nd, when we had our semifinal game. So I was like, gosh, no pressure at all. You're on ESPNU. You're in a national semifinal game, and it's your dad's 78th birthday. So, add that onto it. And what the funny story is, what a lot of people don't know is, I don't know who I made mad in my hometown, but at 10:30 in the morning, they had a power outage that went through the entire town that shut down all ESPN. So my dad spent most of the first part of the game texting everybody to score. So but it's a pretty cool story.
It was worth all 1,517 miles for him to be able to do that for everybody. That's
3,034 both ways.
And literally, like, there hasn't been a day that since we've gotten back that somebody hasn't come up to me and talked to me about the game and or watching us or whatever. And it's probably the first thing or the second thing out of their mouth is like, it was so awesome to see your dad on TV. So that was kind of cool. That's a memory that I'll never forget for sure.
Well, three of us feel the same way we do about your dad, about our dads. And if he didn't make that draft, he wouldn't have seen it all. Yeah. That would have driven him nuts. So how cool is that? That's the icing on the cake there.
Yeah. He, it was unbelievable. And he loves it, and I tell people all the time, people come to me and they're like, how did your dad just get in a car and just drive that far? And I was like, well, it's just like his office has always been behind a steering wheel.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you might work 12 or 8 to 10 or 12-hour or 14-hour days, and that's what he does behind a steering wheel. It's no different. He loves it. And, he actually just left here. He was here to go to the dirt races in Bristol, Tennessee. So he drove back to Vermont and then drove here the following week and went to Bristol, Tennessee to see the dirt race. And then he drove back here last night, and he's in Delaware. It's like instead of where's Waldo, it's where's Elmo tonight. So he's up in Delaware watching a dirt race again tonight, and he'll drive home tomorrow. So.
Well, you might have been in the league for 19 years, but you still got that Vermont accent. I can pick it out.
I do.
My wife is from Vermont. I got a house full of Vermonters right now, and it comes shining through. That's great. It's great. Well, let's get you out of here on this one, Coach. What's next? What do you got on tap? Are you able to get some rest, or what's next for the program? What's next for you over PVI?
I just think that. I was talking to Glenn Farello about this today about, like we can start back up going into the gym in the next couple. And I'm like, wow, we literally got a chance to practice another month after our season normally ends, which was really cool. Our players are getting into their AAU seasons. We still have, I still think the best player in the country is available to go play at any school right now, Isabella Perkins. I mean,
she's awesome.
I mean, if you saw ESPN, like, I don't think there was anybody else that was covered more than her as an unsigned 2021 recruit. Bella's one of the best players that's ever come through Paul VI, and she's a great person. She's going to find a great spot And we're really trying to reach out to people right now. And I mean, you got a kid that's on one of the best teams in the country that led the team and is an unsigned senior right now that's really trying to find the right fit for her. And I'm going to tell you right now, whatever fit she finds, that program is going to be very pleased with what she brings to the table.
No argument here.
Tenacious.
We love her game. We've said that for years.
Tell them to go on First Amendment Sports and watch the PVI games that we've covered because, I mean, not that they need tape. I'm sure they have plenty of tape. But for goodness sake, there's not a college coach out there who would be doing a disservice to their program by bringing Bella in.
There's other words besides for goodness sake. She needs to find that fit because I can't imagine a coach, slasher and a shooter who plays that hard. I mean.
But I love her intensity too. Her intensity on the court is incredible.
And the other thing is this, and once again, it goes back to our league. This one word that comes up, winner.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want kids that can win. That kid's a winner, and she's a competitor. And, and I tell people this all the time. Once again, it goes back to our league, and you guys know this better than everybody. There's not a player that you're going to get from a WCAC school, and I don't care what sport it is, that hasn't played against the very best. So when you get a girls basketball player from Paul VI or St. John's or McNamara or wherever it is, they're not phased because they played against a kid that's going to UConn or a kid that's going to, to Tennessee or whatever the top programs are in the country or wherever they're ranked in the country. We play against that every night, every year. And there's a lot to be said to that because what happens is it goes back to Faith Alston that winning, the athlete of the year because she wasn't phased by, whoever so-and-so was on her team. Because she's used to playing against that for 4 years. So I just think that's the greatest thing about our league is our kids are not scared, and they're winners. Not only are they winners on the floor, they're winners off the floor, and they're winners in the classroom. And I think that's just a testament of everything in our league. It's a testament at our school, Paul VI, our diocese, everything that we're brought to the table. And once again, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to have the opportunity to come in and talk about it because I think it's something that a lot of people all over the country, they see the DeMathas or the Paul VI or, the Gonzagas or whoever it may be. And they're like, they just see the name, but they don't know what goes behind getting to where they've, where they started and where they are now because it's the best league in the country, hands down.
Amen.
Couldn't say it better myself, Coach. We look forward to seeing you in person, man, whether it be on this show when we get you in studio or the next time we can have you in conversation courtside. We try not to bother you too much before a game, but we will love to see you. And shout out to Faith because she stood out. The last time we really before we got to do some football here. Really, the last time we got to do sports was back last year at the WCAC tournament and the boys and girls. And for what it's worth, I thought the job you did coaching in that final was amazing. I think it was at least the first or second biggest story of that game aside of the finish because I thought you ran into a pretty strong squad. And I remember saying Faith's name and commenting on her hustle and what she was up to on the floor all weekend. And, it stands out. I know it stands out to all of us. It stands out to me. And I couldn't be happier for Faith and the things she's doing over at App State.
Yeah, and thank you guys once again. And like we said to everybody, I can't thank, Bishop Burbridge enough. I can't thank our administration enough at Paul VI. Can't thank our parents, our players. And one thing we said to them, I said, don't be upset that it ended. Be thankful that it happened. Because God knows a lot of people didn't get an opportunity to play this year. The last 2 years were probably two of the best teams, if not the two best teams that I have the opportunity to coach. Because I think as a coach, your job is to try to maximize the very best out of each and every player and get them to come together as a team. And we've been so fortunate they bought into that this year, and we were allowed to have the opportunity to play at Geico. So thank you guys very much for allowing me to come on. And next time I want to be on site because all this food that you're talking about.
Yeah, man.
I like to eat too.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
The craft table, we try to make Tuesdays worthwhile. Thank you so much for your time, Coach. We very much appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Good luck, man.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Scott Allen, PVI Panthers. And I know we didn't get a chance to talk a lot about it, and it was a passing comment at the end. But if you guys will recall that final against McNamara,
oh yeah,
McNamara beats St. John's in the semis, and it's one of those scenarios where you had that big game in the semis that everyone wanted to see. And you wonder what's going to happen to whoever wins that game, what's going to happen in the final.
Duke UNLV 91 is exactly what it was. They had to go ahead and play in the championship against Kansas after knocking off Larry Johnson. We talked about it that night.
We talked about it that night.
It was nuts.
You had all those, you had the McDonald, you basically had, and then Coach Allen gets to the gym and doesn't care at all about any of that and really puts together one of the best game plans. He really slowed down the Mustangs' offense. He made them work as hard as probably they had ever worked to get things done. Leah Tu King really underneath, and Matt Scott able to get some baskets. But at the end of the day, I do remember talking about Faith. She was everywhere. Yeah. She was just pestering every single ball carrier or ball handler that McNamara had.
Yeah. I was going to say, as an old WCAC point guard, I've had nightmares about her on-ball defense. I'm just glad no one like that is trying to stop me from dribbling a ball any which direction because she was ferocious.
So good memories, and it's again, we talk about it when we show up to coach. When we show up to call every sport, the coaches in this league show up on film as much as the kids do. It's a fact. They're good at what they do.
No doubt about it. But there's one thing that Coach got wrong tonight. When he said that we knew more about this league than he did. Listen, I know we know a lot, boys, but 19 years coaching against top 5 competition in the best conference in the country, 454 wins, says he knows a little bit more about the league than we do because we've combined for 0.
He probably needs a little bit more than one more year to get to that 500, but, I mean,
he's going to get there.
Yeah. And what I loved about tonight is I know coaches are reluctant to say this is my favorite team or this was my favorite year just because they want to be respectful to all their other players before or that they're going to have. But did you hear just how special this year I think is going to be, given everything they went through, the COVID and everything, and then getting to the Geico Nationals? It was awesome to hear.
Yeah, which I said was in New York, and I was wrong. It's obviously Florida.
Won't be the first.
Won't be the first time. Always make sure, but, it won't be the last. We had a couple more stories we wanted to run, some community stories before we let everyone out for the night before a big week next week. Some schools are doing some awesome things in the community, and we think they deserve some proper mention. My Bishop McNamara Mustangs, I'll tell you what, Mr. London, a science teacher, Bishop McNamara, just an absolute legend. And a lot of his kids don't realize his history. In the U.S. Air Force as a test pilot, absolutely breaking ground for folks in this country and just absolutely representing his family, our school, and advancing the cause of minorities in this country. And he's not going to be the one who's going to be out there telling you his everything. He's going to make sure he leads by example. Yes,
his humbleness alone is worth going to watch this little video. We're showing a little clip it's from. Please go check it out. Just an unbelievable man.
And thank you, sir, for all your service.
Yes, absolutely. And check out get a little science knowledge in there. That could be make sure a little tease. Because the science program at Bishop McNamara, we got some more stories on that coming up. How about where we're going to head next to Seton and their cleanup? And I tell you what, Earth Day came and went. The pandemic, things were so quiet and clean for the last 9-10 months. You almost forget that the place needs cleaning up. Absolutely hats off to the ladies and all the folks over at Elizabeth Seton for taking time out of their schedule to make an impact in their community.
And make it cleaner.
Make it cleaner.
Can always be a little bit cleaner.
Right. Always be a little bit cleaner. Let's head on over to Kensington or the Holy Cross. All these young ladies, Sancta Crux scholars, Madaleva scholars, they are going somewhere and they are doing it with class and, a lot more smarts than the three guys in this room.
We're not just a sports show. We want to put a spotlight on anybody in this conference from any school that does something that is incredible.
We are smart enough to do that.
Yeah.
Yes,
my friend.
We are smart enough to do that. Not Sancta Crux smart.
Oh, no.
But the Tuesday smart. Basement Tuesday smart.
Well, I don't know what that is, but
I'm not
the
even
smartest
sure
I'm going to get.
It correctly,
let's do it.
We can like form up into almost a full brain.
Yeah, we never filled out that Santa whatever thingy. We're not going to.
Well, that's right. We didn't even apply. We need not apply. Do we have anything else from Holy Cross? I think we got one more from Holy Cross. The essay contest. Now, this one is near and dear to my heart as fancy myself an essayist. But these young ladies.
Do you now?
Winning. I do. And that's why it's important to me. And these, absolutely placing. Essays are hard. People sleep on the power of the written word. Everything wants to be TikTok and Twitter and Instagram. But you know what? Hats off to these young ladies. Pen and paper, the power of the written word. It's amazing. Get out there and get into it. Come on, I get excited about this.
I'm with you.
I mean, it's not just.
I've never been more excited about writing in my life.
Come on, get out. These ladies are trailblazing. But next year, when we get this contest, we want more WCAC winners.
Way to go,
awesome
Kate.
job. Yeah, awesome job. Thank you so much to Luke and all the good folks at MMD and making us look good. We will call it quits for tonight. We will be back next week. We got an awesome guest for you, Rakim Jarrett, pride of St. John's College High School, currently at the University of Maryland, on his way to doing some great things, not the least of which being on this show. Until then, he's Kevin Ricca.
That was an awesome show tonight. Thank you, Coach Allen. But I'm excited about my guy, Rock, my favorite high school player I ever watched. He fits the bill of the ladies Coach Allen was talking about. Just a great young man.
I thought I was the greatest player ever watched.
I'm sorry, Ken.
That's okay. That's okay. No,
why don't you go over to T, because he'd be the only other answer.
Tim Strachan.
Hey, appreciate it. Listen, I would be remiss if I didn't throw my heartfelt thoughts and prayers out to the Willingham family. We lost a gentle giant, Kevin Willingham, my former basketball teammate, the 6'10", just awesome dude. We're going to miss him, and he went too early at the age of 47. But want to give my best to Mr. and Mrs. Willingham, Dean, his brother. It's great to talk to Steve Napper, who's been a good friend to him for so long, and just thoughts and prayers to you and to the DeMatha family.
Couldn't have said it better myself, T. Until next Tuesday night, I'm Ken Marangolo. This was the WCAC Spectacular. Subscribe to First Amendment Sports. It's free. Help us out. See you then.